Attorney John Rigney.
Yes, sir. There we are. Yes, sir.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
You know what? I started the YouTube stream again, and I don't know why we're getting that echo, Albert. I think I'm not gonna
Are
able
we,
to live stream.
we're on a delay or what's going on?
I don't know. It's never done that before.
Hey, John Rigney.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. On Oner Gutierrez, what did you want to do with him?
So I'm going to file a waiver so we can try to get a 60-day PTD POM, I guess.
I'm gonna give you October 26th on him,
10/26, 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. for now.
Okay. And my other client, Eduardo Salinas,
Yeah, that one, you're gonna have to,
file a waiver.
well, I think Ms. Mona Gonzalez, the ADA, is gonna ask for something special, so you might want to meet with her if you haven't yet, because
No,
it's a violation of protective order.
correct.
But she might want to put something on the record.
Okay. Well, then we'll just hang out.
Mr. Let me see. Gerardo Cruz. You still on?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney is Alberto Barbosa. He was court appointed. He's on the screen.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, Mr. Barbosa. Good morning.
Morning.
CR. You want me to give you his CR? Let me give you his CR and his charge.
Sure.
CR 21-02523-E.
Okay.
Interfere with public duties. You can do a waiver and we'll reset that one for 10/26.
10/26. Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to
Mr. Cruz?
exchange info.
Sure. Can I just get his number real quick? Okay.
Mr.
Mr.
Cruz,
Cruz.
can you give
Yes.
your attorney your number, your phone number?
It's 956 601 4977.
You broke up.
Oh, it's 956 601 4977.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Cruz. I'll call with you. So we're reset till October 26th.
October 26th.
Okay. I'll talk to you, Mr. Cruz, and we'll talk about your case.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
you,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
You
Yes,
can
sir.
log off, Mr. Cruz. Thank you.
We'll file the waiver with you guys this afternoon, Albert.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning. Ms. Tina,
morning,
can
Judge.
you hear me okay?
Perfectly, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Judge.
We've got an arraignment docket of 65 cases. I think the sooner we get started, the sooner we get done. So, let me start with CR 19-11-428, Carlos Tovar Fuentes, Ms. Monsiváis. That has been reset to September 14th. Number 2 is CR 20-0-1630, Eufemio Sauceda Lerma Jr.
Present.
Mr. Bustos,
Mr. Bustos was on the 206 and he's supposed to be logging as soon as he can.
okay, I'm going to recall that case. Mr. Lerma, your attorney is on another hearing. As soon
Okay,
as he
sir.
comes on, I'll recall your case, okay?
Already, boss.
CR 20-0-2484, Reyes Gonzalez Cordova.
No responses.
Mr. Sammy Reyes has not checked in. Ms. Gonzalez, there was no response when Mr. Cordova's name was called out. What say the state?
It requested a judgment NISI be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
That'll be granted. CR 20-0-2876, Juan Jose Salinas Jr. Public Defender's Office has gotten a reset for that case of September 15th. CR 20-10-304, Mark Anthony De Leon.
No response.
Ms. Gonzalez, I've been advised by Mr. Delgado, our bailiff, that there was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISI be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
That'll be granted to the state. CR 20-10-306, Ricardo Ivan Ordóñez Cantú has been reset to November 1st, 2021 by Assistant District Attorney Amy Cantú. CR 20-10-344, David Munoz, reset to November 4th. Defendant is working out of state. CR 20-10-616, Mario Alberto Tayabas, reset to September 15th. CR 20-10-662, Albino Rafael Herrera, reset to September 15th. CR 20-10-786, Vilma Beltran Cristo has been reset to November 17th. CR 20-11-091, Kenya Citlali Torres, reset to November 8th. CR 20-11-317, Andre Calvin Butler II, reset to November 9th. CR 20-11-419, David Romo Perez, reset date is October 26th. CR 20-11-435, 11-436, 11-437, and 11-438, Jose Luis Villanueva Jr. Mr.
Your Honor,
Santos Maldonado.
Yes, I represent Mr. Villanueva, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Maldonado.
Good morning, Judge.
Are you doing okay?
Doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Good. Mr. Villanueva, are you on board?
He was earlier. I'm not sure if he is now.
I see you, but you're muted. I cannot hear you.
Okay, there, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, sir. You doing okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Villanueva, you're set for arraignment today. I'm going to ask you to please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Is your true and correct date Jose Luis Villanueva Jr.? Mr. Villanueva, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm asking you, is your true and correct name Jose Luis Villanueva Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Villanueva, you are before this court charged with the offense of unlawful restraint. That is a Class A misdemeanor. You are further before this court charged with the offense of assault causing bodily injury or family violence. That is a Class A misdemeanor. You're also charged with the offense of interfering with an emergency phone call for assistance. That is a Class A misdemeanor. And in your last case, CR 2011-438, you are also charged with interfering with an emergency request for assistance. That is a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Villanueva, each of your 4 Class A misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 1 year in jail and up to a $4,000, a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. Today, for arraignment purposes, I need to ask you, have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
No.
Mr. Maldonado, do you find Mr. Villanueva to be mentally competent and able to assist in his defense?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Maldonado, at this time, do you wish to have each of the informations on your client read out loud? Or do you wish to waive the readings of the informations and elect to enter a plea on his behalf?
Your Honor, in behalf of my client on all 4 cases, we have discussed the allegations in these informations. He understands the charges. He would waive the reading of the information and he would enter a plea of not guilty to all 4 cases.
Very well. Mr. Villanueva?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Maldonado has entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf on each of the 4 cases. These 4 cases will move forward. I am going to set them for pre-trial on October 26th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So, Mr. Villanueva, your cases are not over, okay? They're going to continue. It's going to be very important that you show up on October 26th at 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
In between now and then, your attorney wants to help you, but he cannot help you if he doesn't talk to you. So you stay in touch with Mr. Maldonado, okay?
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you back here October 26th at 10 a.m.
All righty.
Mr. Villanueva, I noticed that one of the charges is assault causing bodily injury or family violence. We're not going to have any problems anymore, are we?
No, it's just that my girlfriend, you know.
No digas nada.
All right.
Mr. Maldonado will tell you that sometimes you say the wrong thing and it's going to work against you.
Yes, sir.
What I'm getting at, Mr. Villanueva, is that let's not have any more problems between now and the time you get these things taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Or ever, no more problems. You have any questions, Mr. Villanueva?
No, sir.
Mr. Maldonado, anything further?
No, Judge, not in these cases.
Both of you take care of yourselves.
Judge,
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez.
the state would request that the defendant stay away from the victim, Priscilla Mireles, as a
Okay.
condition of bond.
All right, condition of bond, Mr. Villanueva, is staying away from Priscilla Mireles going to be a problem?
I've been staying away from her for a while already.
Okay,
And I don't need no more problems.
Good. Let's keep it that way. The state is requesting that as a condition of bond, you stay away from Priscilla Mireles.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to order no contact with Priscilla Mireles.
Okay.
Nothing further, Mr. Maldonado?
Nothing, Judge. Good seeing you. You take care.
Cuídense mucho. We'll see
All
both of
right.
you later.
Igualmente.
Thank you. Court is going to call CR 20-11-627, Jose Alonso Velasquez. Mr. Robert Puente.
No response.
Ms. Gonzalez, there was no response when his name was called out earlier. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAD be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
That will be granted. Court will call CR 20-11-688, Luis Alberto Aguilar. I have a reset date of September 15th. CR 20-12-200, Blas Arias Avila.
No response.
There was no response when the name was called out earlier. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAD be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
That is granted to the state. CR 21-00298, Jose Vasquez Nolasco has been reset to November 2nd. CR 21-01263E, Ryan Michael Marquez has been reset to November 2nd. CR 21-02092, Suriel Izaguirre Garza has been reset to November 10th. CR 21-02093, companion case Suriel Izaguirre Garza, also November 10th. CR 21-02210, Jesus Antonio Cuellar has been reset to December 1st. CR 21-02268E, Humberto Isaac Garza has a reset date of November 3rd. CR 21-02282, Lucio Mario Rodriguez Jr.
No response.
There was no response. CR 21-02323, Azucena Mendoza has been reset to December 7th. CR 21-02334, Auner Gutierrez.
That's been reset.
Yes, sir.
That one got, there's gonna be a waiver.
Okay. That has been reset by council to October 26th. CR 21-02335, Rosendo Morin Jr. has been reset to November 1st. CR 21-02336E, Max Guadalupe Matamoros.
No response.
There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAD be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
That'll be granted to the state. CR 21-02342, Juan Roberto Lozano.
He's present.
Mr. Lozano, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can barely hear.
Can you,
sir.
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Shake your head or nod your head if you can. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, had you requested a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I have Mr. Derek Salinas on the screen. Mr. Salinas, can you hear me?
Morning, Your Honor, I can.
All right. I'm going to appoint Derek Salinas to represent Juan Lozano. Can you hear Mr. Derek Salinas when he speaks?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Salinas, can you call out your telephone number so that Mr. Lozano can contact you right now? Mr. Lozano, you have a pencil or a pen?
I can also hear Mr. Lozano if he wants to provide me with his phone number.
Oh,
Judge,
you can hear him okay?
I can hear him. I can hear him. I
All
don't know
right,
if it's.
Mr. Lozano, read out your phone number. Mr. Salinas can hear you, but I cannot.
Okay, my phone number is 956-715-1167.
715 what?
1167.
Okay, 956-715-1167.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Salinas and Mr. Lozano, I'm going to give this a reset date
10/26.
of October 26th at 10 a.m. Mr. Lozano, Mr. Derek Salinas is going to help you. He cannot help you if he doesn't speak with you. So as soon as I excuse both of you, I would like for you to, or Mr. Salinas, you contact Mr. Lozano
Contact him immediately.
and arrange for an interview or an intake or whatever.
Will do,
But
Judge.
Mr. Lozano and Mr. Salinas, October 26th, 10 a.m., we'll see you here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Both
Thank
of
you,
you
Judge.
take care of yourselves. Be careful.
Thank you, Judge. You too. Take care.
CR 21-02362, Juan Jose Portales Navarro has been reset to October 19th. CR 21-02377, Eduardo Jesus Salinas. Here. Mr. Salinas,
Judge.
good morning.
Judge
Mr. Rigney, good
John
morning.
Rigney for Mr. Salinas.
I got a
Good morning,
note here
Judge.
on my docket that you've been retained by Mr. Salinas.
That is correct, Judge.
Ms. Gonzalez, is the state requesting an arraignment on a violation of a bond or protective order?
Judge, we would not be opposed to a waiver of arraignment so long as Mr. Rigney includes the language that the defendant shall stay away from the victim, Rebecca Lynn Obregon, as a condition of bond.
Judge, I mean, we're here now. Could we just go ahead and arraign him?
Okay. Mr. Salinas, let me ask you to raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. Is your true and correct name Eduardo Jesus Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Salinas, you are before this court charged with the offense of violating a bond or a protective order. That is a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. For arraignment purposes today, I need to ask you, have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
No, Your Honor.
Did you retain Mr. John Rigney to represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rigney, in your dealings with Mr. Salinas, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist in his defense?
I do believe he's competent, Your Honor.
I will find Mr. Salinas mentally competent to proceed. At this time, Mr. Rigney, on behalf of Mr. Salinas, do you wish to have the information read out loud, or do you waive the reading of the information and elect to enter a plea on his behalf?
Judge, we waive the reading and respectfully enter a not guilty plea at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Salinas, Mr. Rigney has entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I am going to set this case for pre-trial on October 26th at 10 a.m. Mr. Salinas, Mr. Rigney wants to help you. He can help you, but he cannot do it if he doesn't talk to you. So you need to stay in touch with Mr. Rigney. We will see you back here October 26th at 10 a.m. Also, as a condition
Yes, Your
of
Honor. Thank you
bond-
very much.
Okay, but As a condition of bond, Mr. Salinas, you are to have no harmful contact with Rebecca Obregon. Who is Rebecca Obregon? Is she related to you?
No, Your Honor.
Do you still talk to her?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's keep it that way. Let's not get into any trouble. So that'll be part of your bond condition, and we'll see you back here October 26th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Both of you
Thank you, Judge.
gentlemen.
May we be excused?
Yes, sir, but both of you gentlemen, be safe and take care of yourselves.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. CR 21-02378, Aaron Alvarez Jr.
No response.
There was no response. Ms. Gonzalez, what say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted. CR 21-02404, Fermin Josiah Ramos. There was no response to his name called out earlier. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted to the state. CR 21-02506, Raul Cruz Jr.
No response.
There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted. CR 21-02517, Oscar Daniel Trevino has been reset to November 2nd. CR 21-02523, Gerardo Alexander Cruz has been reset to October 26th. CR 21-02527, Lorena Longoria has a reset date of October 5th. CR 21-02539, Everardo Rivera Rodriguez. There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That is granted to the state. CR 21-02609, Georgina Hernandez. There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That's granted to the state. CR 21-02816, Jorge Alonso Gonzalez. No response. There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
I think Ms. Tina's about to say something. I skipped Jorge Antonio Villarreal, CR 21-02768. Jorge Antonio Villarreal has been reset to November 8th.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Did I beat you to it, Ms. Tina?
You did.
Te conozco. CR 21-02835, Gerardo Rodriguez Gamboa. I got a reset date of October 19th. CR 21-02841, Benjamin Ramirez, reset to November 1st. CR 21-02852, no response.
No response.
There was no response, Ms. Gonzalez. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted. CR 21-02857, Alexis Gutierrez has been reset to October 26th. CR 21-02890, Arturo Avila Jr., reset to November 2nd. CR 21-02923, Cassandra Patino, no
No
response.
response.
There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That is granted to the state. CR 21-02926, Alejandro Guadalupe Guerrero Castellano has a reset date of November 9th. CR 21-02953, Kenya Citlali Torres has been reset to November 8th. Didn't she have an earlier case?
Yes. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I think she did. CR 21-03048, Adriana Briseño, no response.
No response.
There was no response. What say the state?
State requests that a judgment NISAB be granted, a capias issued, and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted to the state. CR 21-03054, Evelyn Monique Puente has a reset date of November 9th. Also, the companion case, CR 21-03055. CR 21-03057, Adolfo Gracia Jr. has a reset date of September 16th. CR 21-03089, companion case. A ver. ¿Por qué dice aquí also number 60?
Actually, I wrote down. the wrong
Okay,
one.
yeah.
I wrote it in the wrong.
Yeah,
one.
it's the next one.
Yeah. But
Alexander, CR 21-03089, Alexander Jacob Onsiker.
no response.
There was no response. What say the state?
Requested a judgment NISAB be granted a capias issued and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted. CR 21-03097, Oscar Ivan Guerra has a companion case under CR 21-03965, Oscar Ivan Guerra. No show.
No response.
There was no response. Ms. Gonzalez, what say the state?
State requested a judgment NISAB be granted a capias issued and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That is granted to the state. CR 21-03110, Jonathan Cáceres Aparicio, reset. No,
Yes.
what's this? Reset to August.
August 26.
Okay, reset to August 26. CR 21-04872 and CR 21-04873, Yolanda Reyes Gonzalez, no show.
No response.
There was no response when her name was called out. What say the state?
State requested a judgment NISAB be granted a capias issued and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That is granted. CR 21-05004, Moises Blanco Angeles,
No response.
no response. What say the state?
State requested a judgment NISAB be granted a capias issued and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
That'll be granted to the state. CR 21-05185, Carlos Fuentes has been reset to September 14th. Did the attorney call on that one?
It was already like that just when the document was
Because
printed out.
I think that attorney had an, okay, that one,
Yeah.
we got it. CR 21-05308, Luis Gerardo Lugo Peña.
No response.
Ms. Gonzalez, there was no response when the name was called out. What say the state?
State requested a judgment NISAB be granted a capias issued and all bonds forfeited for the snow show defendant.
So, Director Bustos, we called his office. The attorney he's in a hearing on the 206.
Bueno, can we give Mr. Lerma another
We
date?
can give him the September 15th arraignment date.
What number was he on my docket?
Number
2. Mr. Lerma? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sir.
I can hear you now. My office just called Mr. Bustos' office. He's still on another court hearing.
Okay.
I don't want to do anything with your case until he is present. What's a rearrangement date?
It's a September 15th.
Okay, I'm going to reset this case for September 15th at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
No, 8 a.m. Judge.
I'm sorry, 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
I'm sorry, at 8 a.m. September 15th, 8 a.m. You contact Mr. Bustos and let him know the new date. We're going to contact his office and let him know the new date. There's an allegation, it's a charge against you right now of assault causing bodily injury or family violence. I want to make it very clear. I don't want any problems, okay?
No, sir.
Está bueno. So, el día 15 de septiembre a las 8, aquí lo vemos.
Bueno, Paz. Muchas gracias.
Cuídese mucho, sir.
Igualmente, Paz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, on number 27, You announced where I said no response and Ms. Gonzalez wasn't able to call an ISA because you jumped to the next one real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Gonzalez, Mr. Delgado is calling my attention to number 27 on the docket, CR 21-02282, Lucio Mario Rodriguez. He announced to me, and I announced on the record that he had not appeared, and I did not ask the state what their wishes would be on that one. What do you wish, Ms. Gonzalez?
It requested a judgment NISI be granted, a KP is issued, and all bonds forfeited, and no show.
You got it. Nice, I will issue.
Judge, for
Yeah.
number 5
Yes, ma'am.
on the docket, Mark Anthony de Leon, attorney Mauricio Martinez, I spoke to him yesterday.
Okay.
And he told me he was going to be filing a waiver of arraignment. I said I didn't have a problem with it so long as he included that defendant should have no harmful contact with the victim.
So the state is waiving their standard operating procedure on having a family violence accusation arraigned, and you're willing to take a waiver?
We could reset it. Another
I'm just
arraignment.
putting you on the spot, Ms. Mona.
We could reset it.
Whatever the state wishes.
1026.
Huh?
1026, he will file a waiver.
Okay.
He hasn't yet, but
Now, we're assuming that Mauricio is going to file a waiver, right?
Mhm.
All right, we'll give him a reset date of October
26.
26, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
for pretrial.
Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, did we miss any other case?
No, Judge, I think we covered all of it.
You doing okay today?
I am. How are you?
I am well, thank you. You staying healthy,
Yes.
taking your precautions?
Yes.
Are you living at home with your parents?
Yes.
Be very careful.
I am. I do. The whole COVID situation freaked me out. I was just starting to, I went an entire year without going to eat at a restaurant in person. Within
Yeah,
an
well-
entire year.
Welcome to my world. But you make up for it by taking measures like getting your dad to barbecue and bringing a plate for the judge the next day. I was seeing on television and I told my staff, and I saw something on the news last night where the boosters are going to be available at the convention center just north of the women's hospital there on DHR.
Uh-huh.
Just north of that, there's a convention center. It's kind of towards the back. But when I got my vaccine, that's where I got it. And they were saying that people that want the booster can go get it there all this week from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Already? I thought we had to wait like a certain amount of months.
Well, I called my brother, who's a pediatrician, and he was going to find out if there's a required wait period. Because I've heard 6 months, I've heard 8 months, I've heard no booster required unless you're immunocompromised. But I got a 91-year-old mom. We got her vaccinated. I've got other family members that are immunocompromised. So I asked my brother to check on it. I think it would be a good idea. Just get loaded up,
Mhm.
glow in the dark for 2 or 3 days, and then you're okay. Miss
Yeah.
Miss Tina knows what I'm talking about. Our
Yes.
kids were calling her the light of our lives. No, but
Yeah.
we need to take this serious. I'm very concerned about school kids. My grandkids,
Ooh.
my grandkids are under the 12-year cutoff for vaccinations. And our governor has seen fit to order the schools not to mandate masks. And it's like, really, dude? You're in that big Capitol building and you're finding out how contagious this stuff is.
Mhm. And kids just like, I was at a corner store the other day and there was a child just like touching everything, mask off. They just don't know. They don't know. They're just like hands everywhere. And I'm just like, oh goodness, that's gonna be so bad.
Last week, the Thursday before last, about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago, Rubio Salinas had a hearing on a family case. And he was calling the office trying to see if he could get it passed. But Joanne asked him if he had spoken to opposing counsel. And he said, I tried to get a hold of him, but I can't. So Joanne said, why don't you just make an appearance and ask the judge for more time? Well, both of them appeared. Rubio didn't sound good. He looked a little disheveled and he was trying to pass it because he didn't feel good. So since it was a family case, I didn't want to stretch it out too much. I went from a hearing that Thursday and I passed it to the following Tuesday. Was the following day, Friday, Rubio called and said he had tested positive. And his son-in-law, Patrick Kennedy, had tested positive. And Rubio's grandchild had tested positive. And I'm like, oh my God. That was a Friday. So Monday, I called Rubio just to see how he was doing. And he said he was hanging in there. He sounded kind of malito. And then I called Patrick, and Patrick didn't sound as bad as Rubio, but he still sounded a little bit under the weather. And he said, Judge, it's everything in my body aches. Everything aches. I say, well, and I asked him about his little girl, the 1-year-old. Of course, she tested positive also, but she's asymptomatic. So if we could get that on everybody that's under the age of 12, that'd be great. But reality is that some of these kids are going into the hospital. So we just got to be careful, Ms. Gonzalez.
I
Sanitizer.
always wear my mask. I have tons of hand sanitizer. Always washing my hands. Lysol wipes everywhere.
It's good to be a little paranoid.
I am. I really am.
I took it to an extreme yesterday. I left the courthouse, and on the way out, I was, fist bumping the deputies and fist bumping the maintenance crew. And I walked out of the courtroom and I had an itch and I went like that. And I'm like, oh crap. So what do I do when I get to the truck? Get some sanitizer. And while my hands are still wet, I go like that. That stuff, I just want you to know, if you get it in your eye, it burns a little bit.
Well,
I'm gonna ask.
But anyway, and Ms. Tina, yesterday I got notice that the state conference with the judicial conference has canceled.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
Well, if that's the thinking and they want to protect all the older judges and people like that, why don't they do the same thing for the kids? Virtual learning is not a bad thing, but no, you don't. I think the schools don't get funded at the same rate if they have virtual learning as if they had actual kids in school.
Yeah, I've never agreed with that. I don't think that should be the determining factor for how schools are funded. That's ridiculous.
It's not good.
No.
It's a serious state of affairs.
Yes, something there has to change for sure.
Anyway, Ms.
Okay,
Tina.
Judge. Well, you're not done for the day, Judge. We still have to log off here and log back in.
Oh, okay. So we get to let Ms. Gonzalez go?
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez is excused.
What time is the session set for?
It's set for 10:30 because it's just.
Log in early?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I heard there was a bunch of defaults. Maybe we have some attorneys ready. Ms. Joanne told me.
Will it let us log in earlier than 10:30?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I open it up, yes. But there's no more criminal for today. It's just,
Bueno, pues let's get after it. Ms. Gonzalez, you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye, Judge. Bye, Miss Tina. Bye, Albert.
Mona.
You stay safe.